Good morning, Norway. Good morning, everywhere. Swadee Cup. Happy today. Oh, yes, so happy. I wish I could say I was, really happy. Every time I think about what's going on outside of my house, I'm like, all I can say is, what the, WTF. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know where to begin. But you know what? I do know where to begin. Right now, the Thai baht is a whopping 29.91 to the US dollar. And I say that sarcastically. When it goes under 30, I'm not a happy camper. The air quality is once again not good. 101, which is unhealthy to sensitive individuals such as myself. The temperature, however, is a beautiful 81 degrees. It's not going to be too beautiful for too long because in another 2 hours it'll be up to 88 and then it'll get up to a high of 91 and 58% humidity, which is not bad, 10% chance of rain, winds east southeast 6 miles an hour, and it feels like 82 degrees. So pretty much the feel like temperature is what the temperature actually is. Good morning, Soy Dog Cowboy. Good morning. Here I am again. You know, I always think today I'm not going to stream. I'll take a little day off. And then I don't. I don't know why. Maybe this is my place to vent. I don't know. If anybody wants to join in on the stream today, boom, there is the link. You're more than welcome to come in. However, if you do come in, make sure I know who you are. If I don't know who you are, you're just going to get booted from the green room. If I do know who you are, welcome. So if you are a subscriber, thank you very much for joining me. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and clicking the notification button, bell. You don't have to. I know it can be a bit of a pain. Also, leave a thumbs up. And if you'd like to support the channel in any way, all the ways are down below in the description. You can get merchandise from my shop, get 15% off. Just use the code Orwell. And then there's a number of other ways, including Patreon. I want to say hello to my Patreon patrons. Want to give another big shout out to Mr. Bilal. Thank you as always. And where do we go from here? Whew. All I can say is I shouldn't look at the news. When I don't look at the news and I'm oblivious to what's going on, I'm a much happier camper. When I look at the news, I see things like Mark Cuban is not playing the national anthem, which I don't watch the NBA anyway, because I don't want to watch these players who they want to put Black Lives Matter on the court, just like in the NFL. I don't watch the Super Bowl. I don't want to subscribe to any of this kind of BS because to me I'm as good as condoning it, and I don't want to do that. Now Cuban is reversing his stance. First, it's I'm not going to play the national anthem. He didn't give any real reason. And then the NBA said we order all teams to play the national anthem. Now, I'm an American. I believe in the national anthem. I think it's a good thing to play the national anthem. However, when you have the NBA putting Black Lives Matter on the courts, you're already saying there is no unity. In my opinion, that you've got a divisive nation, and thus, why are you going to play a national anthem? Where is the unity? Where is it? Listen, in Thailand, I expect it. I'm the Farang. I'm the outsider. I'm the foreigner. In America, you're supposed to be able to go there and, everybody is treated fairly equally. Now, we know that's not true. And I'm not saying that there are not cases of racism in the United States, whether reverse racism, if you want to call it that, or whatever it might be called. But like the fact that the NBA is ordering somebody to do something, it's like, wait a minute. The players don't want to call the owners, they want to call them governors. And yet the NBA is going to order an owner or a governor to play the national anthem. It's just, everything seems ass backwards to me. In Myanmar, you got the people who, whether the election was fraudulent or not, supposedly they elected a leader, and now you got the military taking over again, and the United States is going to sanction them. A lot of good that did before. It really hurts the people more than it hurts the government, because I guarantee you the people in the government, the heads of the government, the generals, they are all sipping fine cognac, eating the best food. They don't have a problem with it. They'll get whatever they want. It's the everyday person that will have a problem. And I know a lot of people there, and they are pissed off right now. And that's why they're taken to the street. And then yesterday, some young girl was shot in the head, basically just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time during a protest. There was she wasn't being violent. She wasn't doing anything. And they just shot her in the head to make an example out of her, I guess. I don't know. This thing, there's a lot of I don't knows. I saw this thing where Tom Brady didn't wear a mask going into the Super Bowl. The other quarterback did. Whatever. You can choose whatever you want. But, to bash Tom Brady because he doesn't want to wear a mask in the Super Bowl, going into the Super Bowl, what the fuck is going on in the world? I don't get all this. I mean, where is all this shit coming from? I'm just astounded by all the shit going on in the world. I mean, I could pull up just about any news site and I'm going to find one piece of shit article after another. Which is why, it's better not to watch the news, but then you don't know what's going on. So once in a while, there's something important that you need to know. Not very often. For me, since I'm commentating on all this stuff, it pays to be a little bit on top of what's going on. Is Thailand opening up? Are we free in Thailand? Somewhat free? Can we walk around? Are we allowed to walk around? Are we still allowed to walk around? Or if we walk around, are we going to get shot? Now, that's an example. That's all it is. But, yeah, I woke up and I just see one thing after another. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And then, for me, I'm getting messages. I'm getting emails. I'm getting shit for calling out the Chinese government. It's like, go ahead, give me shit. I don't care. You can only kill me once, I think that's one thing. That's something that people should remember. Hey, if it's really that bad, you can only kill me once. Now, let me, I want to put something up here. Let me see if I can do this. This is what started out my morning. How can I do this? Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, let me download that. I think I put it up on the screen here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, but I think so. Let's see here. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. So I downloaded it. You put it onto I already did that. You put it into the iCloud. What the fuck? Save to files. Desktop. Save. All right. Should be there in a moment. I'm going to show you guys a little something. So when I woke up this morning, first of all, my wife turns on the hot water. A couple minutes later, I hear her pour the water. She gets her coffee. I'm like, oh, I want a coffee. I pour my water into the coffee maker. I got the manual Roke espresso maker. And For some reason, the water is cold. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to drink a cold espresso, which I don't like, but whatever. I'm like, okay, it happens. I'll make another one later, maybe. Let's see if I can get this thing now. And then I got to hear this kind of horse crap. Horse shit. You know what? I'm just going to play it on my phone. I don't need to share the screen. I don't have to do all this high-tech shit. We're going old school. We're going 8mm, 16mm or something. All right, let me show you guys something. Oh yeah, I read it. Hang on a second. Let me. I got to catch up with these messages before I go on too far, and I get behind. There we go. Good morning, Alpharetta. I read that the Myanmar generals were asking Prayut about how to restore democracy in their country. Does anybody see the irony in them asking him this? Because I do. All right, let me play this real quick. I can put it up to the screen here. This is my house, front of my house. Early in the morning. That went on for almost 30 minutes. I really had to restrain myself because there was part of me that wanted to go out there and, do something that would get me in trouble. And I just went, no, I can't do that. Gotta use my brain. Don't go out there and use my emotions. But you got a guy drilling and sawing from about 6 in the morning. And then you got somebody with the car alarm. They are oblivious. And I'm sitting there trying to have my coffee, my cold coffee. And I'm going, serenity now, serenity now. Don't worry, be happy. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going, don't go out there with a baseball bat and smash up the car. No, no, no. Don't go hit somebody in the head because they're an idiot. I'm just telling myself, have your coffee, relax. My wife is going, what's the problem? Most times they have this anti-noise mechanism. They don't hear noise. They block it out completely. For me, I wake up in the morning, I hear some drill, and I hear a car alarm, and all the cars going by, and horns beeping, and the fucking village bonehead driving by trying to sell vegetables to everybody early in the morning. Who buys vegetables early in the morning? The only place would be the people who are making food. So while I understand that, why not go in the afternoon or in the evening and maybe at like 10 o'clock in the morning before people sell lunch and have enough for breakfast, enough vegetables that you might need for breakfast, like in an omelet or something? Why do you got to go around with the loudspeaker on? Now, I don't want to be what are they called? A Chad. But like after a while, you just go, what the fuck, man? And, I wrote to somebody this morning, when the fuck am I going to get any peace? Oh, you're not allowed to have peace. So those are the things that are grinding my gears right now. All right. Now, I do know that I have a lot to be happy about. Yes. Don't worry, Scott. Be happy. The vaccine is coming. Everything's going to be okay. I wish I was that optimistic. I did hear, and I'm being honest, and I think this is good news, that eventually the scientists now and the virologists believe that this virus is going to become an endemic as opposed to a pandemic, and it'll just be like the flu. Every year, everybody's going to get a shot. Okay, well, why don't we start with that? Let's get going. Let's hurry it up. Time's a wasted. People are dying. People are getting old. People got to get back to work. I met a lady yesterday. She's almost in tears. She had a restaurant. I used to go to the restaurant. I just happened to see her. I said, "What's going on? Where's the restaurant? What's going on? Hey." She's almost in tears. She said, "No customers. People don't want to go out and sit in her restaurant for some reason." Now, I don't know. A lot of Thais aren't going out now. Not going out as much. But I guess the last round, when it first happened, and Thais kind of stayed inside. Now they're starting to come out. It did her in. She's like, "I had to shut down." I said, "Well, can you open back up?" "I got no money." She's barely able to survive right now. She's surviving on handouts and what little money her and her husband get from the government. Or got from the government. I don't know. So, I'm a little hesitant to say everything's fucking hunky-dory. But we do have some things to look forward to. Because after all, Thailand is paradise. All you guys can come over here and have a grand old time. Actually, my wife was in Pattaya yesterday. She had to go down there for a little bit of business. And she said, the hotels, they're dead, completely dead. She's like, yeah, there's some people out in the street, but it's dead. I'm like, you think he had to tell me that? I've been down there. I know what it's like. Pattaya Bob knows what it's like. Pattaya Petey, he knows what it's like down there. Now, they may have a slightly more optimistic view than I do. Same with Longhorns, wherever he is, watching Gunsmoke or Big Valley or whatever the hell he's watching. Ironside. But yeah, listen, I'm just going to take a quick look here. I have not looked at the Thai news for fear of being disappointed. Oh, yeah, I did see this, and I believe I talked about it. No Valentine's Day marriage licenses will be issued in Bangkok due to the COVID-19. But you can go to a Muay Thai gym, you can go to bars, you can go to shopping malls, you can go damn near anywhere. But you can't go and get a license to get married. Tell me how that makes sense. It's kind of like, if we don't sell booze, the virus is not going to be transmitted because nobody wants to get together. What do you think? You think people ain't banging because they're not drunk? Okay, maybe when they're drunk, they're banging more. But you think people don't get together just because they can't have beer, or they don't have beer at their house, or their buddies got some beer or some whiskey or something like that? None of this shit makes sense to me. And that's the thing. I'm like going, where is the common sense? Where is the logic behind everything going on right now? And I'm just like, I said it a long time ago, I've basically just given up on trying. I just throw my arms up and just go, now what? And I hate to be, sound jaded, but I am. How can you not feel jaded? Tell me that. So, I'd like to get you guys' take on this, if possible. Only one death yesterday. One death too many. But only one death. It could be 3,000. And then the other thing is, all this cancel culture bullshit is really grating on me now. You can't say this, you can't say that. Well, what the fuck do I have a mouth for besides eating? Am I not allowed to talk? I mean, am I allowed to say something? Am I allowed to express any opinions? No, you're not. Really? That's how it seems. Seems to me. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Oops, wrong site. Ten arrests as protests return to Bangkok. Okay, well, that's not good. What is this? Thai authorities continue to screw up. Ooh. The Thai tourism industry is gathering dust. You think? Ooh, look at this one. Thai sex workers demand prostitution is legalized. I don't think that that's a bad thing. Why is Thai prostitution, or any prostitution for that matter, why is it illegal? But it was much worse last year. I was the only crazy psycho on the block. I don't know that it was that much worse last year. Honestly, I think last year was the beginning and the middle, and we're still in the middle. And hopefully we're nearing the end. We're nearing the light at the end of the tunnel. Listen, I guarantee you there'd be, I personally think, I can't guarantee, I personally think there would be less rapes and less violence against women if prostitution was legalized. And, it was done in a rational manner. It wasn't, yeah, it's legal. All right, so go walk the streets, and keep doing what you're doing. No, it had to be, contained and in certain areas only, you know, just like in Mexico, they have their little zones, and in Thailand, they have their little entertainment areas. Same kind of thing. You know, imagine going into a go-go bar in the United States, and you go and you see this hot chick, and you're like, damn. You give her $20. She's got, give her $20. You give her a couple 20s, she's dancing, and you go, man, I really want a piece of that right there. Woo! She's a hottie. You look at the menu. Number 756, she wants $75 for a BJ. She wants $125 for, sex. She wants a 150. She wants 150 for a combo. And if you want to go in the rear passage, it's going to cost you, $300 or something. You know what I mean? You get a menu, just like you're going into Amsterdam into a hash bar or something like that. A coffee shop. Well, that's kind of what it is here. Jesus Christ. That's kind of what it is here. Let me just read this real quick. They got the same old stock photo up there. It sucks. Empower Foundation, a Chiang Mai-based group that supports sex workers, and it said it hoped to collect 10,000 signatures and present a petition to Parliament to help persuade lawmakers to consider changing the country's prostitution law. The law punishes sex workers, 80% of whom are mothers and the main breadwinner for the whole family. It turns us into criminals. More than 1,000 people had signed a petition since it was launched on Saturday. Thailand is a predominantly Buddhist and deeply conservative, but is home to an extensive sex industry, largely catering to Thai men. Thank you very much. Finally, somebody says that. It's not only the Westerners. Hordes of tourists also flock to the bright lights of go-go bars and massage parlors in the Thai capital, Bangkok, and the country's main tourist towns. Women and LGBT and rights activists say the current law, which made prostitution illegal in 1960, does little. So what the hell is it? I thought it was legal to prostitution was legal, but selling it was unlegal. It was illegal or something like that. Unlegal does little to protect sex workers, which while repeated arrests and fines for doing sex work has driven them further into poverty. A report by the UN Agency Fighting AIDS estimated there were 123,530 sex workers in Thailand, but advocacy groups put the figure at more than twice that number and say it includes tens of thousands of migrants from neighboring Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Prostitution is currently punishable by a fine of 40,000 baht or 2 years in jail. That's about $1,275. Or both, while people who pay for sex with underage workers can be jailed for up to 6 years. More than 24,000 people were arrested, prosecuted, and fined for sex work-related offenses in Thailand last year, according to the Royal Thai Police. The Ministry of Social Development and Human Security's Women's Affairs and Family Development Department was unable to give an immediate comment. Sarang Janyam, director of the Sex Workers In-Group, a Thailand-based support organization for sex workers, said the prostitution law should be repealed to allow sex workers to be protected under labor laws. The sex industry generates massive income for the country, but there is no mechanism to protect the sex workers. And nor does the country get really a lot of illegal, or rather, what am I saying? Nor does the country gain by the girls being taxed, although the businesses are taxed in various ways. But yeah, they could make. It's just like weed. It's just like weed. They can make a lot more money. The government could be, the thing is does the government really need to make more money? I think that the governments have a little bit too much power as it is, and more money is just going to make things worse. I see Larry Flint died. Larry Flint of Hustler fame, 78 years old. He died. Whatever. Did he still own? Does he still own Hustler? It doesn't say. He made his first million when he ran a nude photo of former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, we can't find any. We see no traces of prostitution. There must not be any going on here in Pattaya. Come on. I hear even in Amsterdam there is no more red light district. Since when? Dre, what's happening? Let's all have a moment of silence for Larry. I haven't heard that about Amsterdam. As far as I know, it's going strong. I went to Amsterdam about, 6, 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. I lose track now. It's been a while, but I used to go all the time. There was a period of about 5 or 6 years where I went like 6, 7 times. And I went, it was a stopover. I was going to, where did I go? Once I went to Colombia and I stopped off in London or something. And then another time I went to Amsterdam, flew to New York, flew down to Florida, then went to Trinidad and Tobago, and then from there went to Guyana. And then I stopped on the way back. So, I mean, I did take, like 8 years ago, I took like 3 trips all in the course of a year. So, well, I mean, it's always been something. It hasn't been a seedy place compared to, say, the United States, where the girls are walking on the street, and it's like you never know what you're getting. I mean, a lot of it's quite a bit different than that, and it has been for many years. I don't know what's going on right now. I did hear something about there were some people that didn't like it. They wanted it, shut down. The red light district shut down. Blah blah blah. But there's too much business going on. Nobody's going to stop that. Why should they? Listen. Hey, I understand people not wanting to pass a law that says cocaine and heroin is legal. I can understand that. Weed's a little different. I don't have a problem with that. But, the hard drugs, prostitution, why would you why would you make it illegal? I think there's far more problems that occur because of illegal prostitution than because of legal prostitution. Just like with the drugs in the Netherlands, it's tolerated. They have cafes with hash and weed in it, and it's tolerated, and they have less of a problem. In Portugal also. Portugal's another place. I think it's more of what is it called? It's not decriminalized, is it? Is that an area that's decriminalized, or is it just completely legal? I don't know. Anyway, I don't keep up on the whole drug scene. Let's see here. Ugh. Virus, income disparity, top Asian woes. Thais see the threat to health from the COVID-19 pandemic, unemployment, and widening socioeconomic gaps as the top challenges facing Southeast Asia, according to a regional survey. However, more Thais than other nationalities pointed to domestic political instability as one of the top challenges. These are the findings of a survey launched by the Asian Studies Center at Singapore's, Jesus Christ, ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute. On average, 76% of respondents from 10 countries said COVID-19 was the top challenge. Duh! I mean, nothing is going to happen until you get past this shit. Until we get past this, COVID, and we stop it. I mean, think about it. It's gotten to the point now where it's, if it's not the only thing I talk about, but it's damn near one of the only things I talk about. We talk about the virus. We talk about politics. We talk about travel. We talk about, women, poo. But, the virus makes everything is dependent on the containment of the virus and the stifling, the crushing of the virus. To use Nancy Pelosi's terminology. Let's see. I'm just going to run through a bunch of things. Thailand's latest COVID relief scheme hit by controversy. Jesus Christ. How hard is this? Fuck. Are these guys completely fucking inept? And I'm not talking about only Thais. It sure seems to me like a lot of places are having problems with this. It's like, what the fuck, man? Figure it out. You got nothing else to do. Most of these politicians sit around on their ass talking about laws most of the time. They work 2 hours out of the day in their office. Well, this is the thing. I can understand it being shut down now because of the COVID. This is again, I'm going to say it. Everything is reliant on what happens with the COVID. We're relying on a virus. Is the virus going to be crushed? Does Gavin Newsom think it's okay? Can we go back to school? Can we open our business up? How come he doesn't have to wear a mask, but I do? Listen, I'm going to say this. These guys, they should feel damn glad that they don't face me face to face, nose to nose, because I would eat them fucking up. I would do things, I would get myself in trouble. I can't say these things publicly. I can't. But some of them, it's like, dude, being kind, I'd be like, dude, wake the fuck up. You need to make some changes. That guy Newsom's a fucking idiot. And how many idiots you got in the United States now? You got these idiot governors and mayors. Oh, yeah, I'm going to run back home and leave Thailand for that. Wow. I'm so thrilled to be coming home. I mean, really? The fuck? You wonder why people want to leave America? This is why. These are the reasons why. It used to be, we want a little adventure. That's what I left for. I want to see the world. That's what I left for. Oh, new experiences. Exotic chicks. Now it's, I want to get the fuck out of America because I don't like the way it's run. And there's nowhere to hide now. Here we go. Bar owners in Pattaya. This was, I think, a little bit older. Oh, no, it's not. Bar owners in Pattaya demand midnight closing time. Permanently closed signs in front of bars, pubs, and entertainment venues in Pattaya reflect the problem that owners are facing during the COVID-19 outbreak. Many of them could not save their businesses as their income relied heavily on foreign tourists to the tune of 24 billion baht a year. The owner of the Lisa Guest House Bar, located on Jomtien Beach, joined others in demanding the reopening of entertainment venues. Although they have reopened, she thinks that only being allowed to open until 11 p.m. doesn't ease their burden, as customers don't normally arrive until around 9 p.m. Does COVID-19 come after midnight? We can only open to 11. After midnight, have to be careful for COVID. I mean, what the fuck? Oh, man, I'm laughing. Only one state in America with no lockdown, no mask. What's that, Florida? I love how that stupid fucking mayor in Tampa is saying, we're going to get those people who didn't wear a mask in the Super Bowl. Really? You're going to get them? For what? There's no fucking law, you stupid bitch. Normally I wouldn't be quite so harsh. I'd be a little more understanding of people and, mistakes that are made and things that are said. Well, Florida doesn't have a lockdown. And they don't have a mask mandate either. There is no law saying you must have a mask. You must be wearing a mask. It's somewhat expected, as it is here. They're not going to put me in jail because I'm not wearing a mask. Now, if I try to go into the mall and they say, sir, we require that you wear a mask to get into the mall, and I say, no, I'm going in anyway, they have the right to call the police and say, this guy's not wearing a mask. It's our policy that people need to wear a mask. And for sure, I'd go to jail or I'd go to trial or whatever. They'd probably just fine the hell out of me and. Yeah, but you said it's the only state. It's not the only state. Florida doesn't have any lockdown, and they don't have any mask requirement. So, while it's good that South Dakota doesn't have a lockdown or a mask, um, South Dakota is very spread out. It's not quite as dense as, say, New York City. So there is a bit of a difference. I don't want somebody sitting next to me that, might be sick. I don't want them getting me sick. I think about it now. I'm like, I don't want to get the flu. I don't want to get the flu. Well, forget it for what? So I can be miserable for a couple of days? I'm miserable enough being old. What state is yours, Dre? Florida? Isn't it Florida? I'll tell you what, I like Florida more and more now. After what I've seen the last few years. There you go. Florida. But I like this. Does COVID-19 come after midnight? I mean, there it is. That's about as logical as you can put it. In fact, there's usually less people. Maybe not at midnight, but let's say 1, 2 o'clock. There starts being less people because they get closer to closing time. Maybe not on the weekends, but during the week and stuff. Maybe not now because got the COVID, but we want the government to help extend the opening by another hour, which is not really asking all that much. We are suffering, but the COVID-19 situation in Pattaya is getting better. Bar owners on Jomtien Beach agreed that the latest outbreak has meant some had to put their businesses up for sale. Sadly, however, there are no buyers due to the dire economic situation. The scene around 10 p.m. at Anna Bar was of flashing lights, music, and staff waiting for their missing customers. The owner of the bar revealed that she had to pay 120,000 baht quarterly rent. She is having to sell food to help 9 of her staff and have been forced to reduce their monthly salaries by 50% to just 4,000 baht. No one is here at 10 p.m. and we have to close at 11. How am I going to make income? They reduce our rent from 50,000 to 30,000, but it's still not enough. I want the government to listen to our demands. A cashier at Tiki Bar said she had been working there for a year when the outbreak began. Although her salary is not high, she still gets extra money by entertaining customers, but she now has to save money due to the outbreak. Sometimes I don't even need to use my salary. I get a lot of money each month, and it's better than my salary when I was a factory girl. Meanwhile, a 65-year-old tourist from England, who's just completed his quarantine, said he decided to travel to Thailand for 3 months as the COVID-19 situation here is improving. He also believes that Thailand is good at controlling the spread of the virus and feels safer here than in his home country. You know what? I don't want to downplay how well Thailand's done with the virus, but there's part of me that feels like maybe what's going on in the West is there's a lot more bullshit, and here in Asia, there's a lot more truth. Anyway, this guy is also glad that bars in Pattaya are allowed to open until 11 p.m. as he thinks it will help local tourism to recover. Oh, really? Come on, man. Chonburi has found no new COVID-19 infections in the past 10 days. The province recorded a total of 649 infections in the latest outbreak. All of them have recovered and been discharged from the hospital. So what does that tell you? I know they're trying to stamp it down. They're trying to flatten the curve. I got to use all the proper terminology. Thought we were going to crush it. The improving situation offers some hope for entertainment venues, and their owners hope that the Provincial Communicable Disease Committee will accept their request to extend their opening hours until midnight to help alleviate their suffering and to boost local tourism. I hope they do. I mean, it's not like they're going to have nearly as many people right now. So what's the point of, well, we're just going to, I just don't get it. I mean, what's the point of shutting down early when you really don't have that many people there anyway? And what happens? You're wearing a mask, you're practicing social distancing, supposedly. Why is it okay to go into there in the first place? You don't know. At 9 o'clock, the bar could be completely packed. And I know there are some places that are. I know because I've seen pictures. Yesterday, I was in the grocery store, and they're doing their little Chinese New Year's festivities. They're selling all kinds of Chinese, sweets and cakes and, the moon cakes and all that kind of garbage. And, where's the picture? I got a picture. I got photo you. Let me see if this one looks like. Oh, it's the other one. There we go. All right. I don't want to have to. Look at this. Okay. Look how many people. I'm going to say that there's more people in the grocery store than are probably in any bar or most bars. The vast majority of bars. Why is that okay? Oh, because you need to get food. Well, I mean, how do you think these people are eating and paying their bills that own the bars? It's just they're doing the same thing as a grocery store is. Thank you, Patsy and Bob, for giving a website with a price list for a prostate massage. It's an oily ball massage. That's what it is. They have them here in Bangkok. In case you don't know, go down to Soy 33 or something like that. Sukhumvit Soy 33. They got all kinds of little places there, and you just ask for the oily ball massage. They'll give you the works. Friends told me about this. Who the hell is Gronk? Apparently, he's a football player. Anyway, moving on. I love this, though. Does COVID-19 come in after midnight? Why can we only open till 11 p.m.? Oh, you can't stay up past 11 o'clock. You're going to turn into a pumpkin. You're going to turn into a CCP virus. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm at my wit's end. I'm doing the whole stay off of social media. That's going to happen in the next couple of days. It's going to be happening. I'm not going to be on. I'm just going to put a bunch of videos up. I'm not going to stream. I'm just going to stay away from the news because I want that little break. Good morning, Bruce. All right, what is this? Coup boss writes to Prayut for support as UK man with Chinese partner flees troubled. Oh, God. I don't even want to go there. Don't even want to go there. Let me think if I can have some other. I think I'm about due a visit to Klong Doi. That way I feel grateful for what little I have, And I say that, and I'm being sarcastic. But, you know, here in Thailand, I do feel fortunate that I'm not in a place where it's like, China, where if you go out when you're not supposed to, you get shot. So I feel grateful for that. Minister seeks 5 million vaccine doses for tourism industry. All right, so now they're going to give it to the tourists. I thought it was just the expats they're talking about giving it to. Minister seeks 5 million vaccine doses for tourism industry. Pushes for vaccine visa. Jesus fucking Christ. The tourism minister will discuss with Prime Minister a request for 5 million doses of vaccination for the tourism industry and also push a vaccine passport measure to enable foreigners to return in the third quarter of this year. I will say this, they are trying. Even though sometimes I go, man, what are they talking about now? That's never going to work. And I hear other people going, what are they thinking? They throw the stuff up on the wall and they hope something sticks. Minister for Tourism and Sport, Pipat Ratchakitpatkan, said he is meeting Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha to request 5 million doses of vaccine for 2.5 million employees in the... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, all right. So it has nothing to do with tourists. 2.5, well, let me read on. 2.5 million employees in the high-risk tourism sector, such as those who have duties to welcome foreign tourists, hotel staff, restaurant staff, tour drivers, and spa staff, focusing on 7 major tourist cities: Chonburi, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, Krabi, Suratani, and Songkhla. According to the reopening plan, Thailand will accept foreign tourists in the second half of the year, targeting 5 to 10 million visitors. So now it's 5 to 10 million. They're still hoping they can get that 10 million. Yutasak Supason, governor of the Tourist Authority of Thailand, said that TAT would find a way to bring vaccinated foreigners to Thailand, including urging the government to allow a vaccine passport. They will also discuss with the National Tourist Organization of ASEAN countries to issue visas together under the same standard for people in the Asian community to travel to other ASEAN countries without quarantine. Besides, TAT has promised to start marketing aggressively. It is discussed with Middle Eastern airlines like Emirates, Qatar Airways, and the hotels and travel operators to sell all-inclusive travel packages from March to April to attract foreign tourists to Thailand in the third quarter of this year. Meanwhile, so they're going to start next month and the month after. Meanwhile, the private sector of Phuket's tourism industry has discussed plans to mobilize COVID-19 vaccination to open quarantine-free tourism to Phuket again on October 1st, 2021. We know this, when at least 70% of the population has been vaccinated under the operation. Bungkiti Ruktangam, president of the Phuket Tourist Association, recently revealed that to be able to open to foreign tourists on October 1st, 2021 without quarantine, the Phuket team has to assess 5 factors and have already asked the government for clarity. The first, quarantine requirement for vaccinated tourists and limitation on the type of vaccine used on a tourist if they are not inoculated with Sinovac or AstraZeneca. Vaccination plan for Phuket. 3, local government's part to bring vaccine to the area faster. 4, expanding the registration of other vaccines used in many other countries to have sufficient applications. 5, additional measure for private individuals to purchase vaccines for employees of each business according to the capacity of each organization. He added that Phuket's tourism industry needs at least 70% of the population to receive 2 doses of the vaccine by September 1st to build immunity before accepting vaccinated tourists from October 1st. Phuket's private team has already negotiated to buy vaccines from private hospital chains If the government approves the private sector guidelines, we should start injecting Sinovac's first dose before the Songkran Festival and gradually inject the private sector to complete as planned. The Phuket private sector has agreed that employees, especially in the tourism sector, will pay for vaccines. What? The Phuket private sector has agreed that employees, especially in the tourism sector, will pay for vaccines themselves. For our future, we have to invest in ourselves, said Bhumi Kitty. All right, come on. All right, where am I here? All right, so, I don't know what to say about this. I think, for me, seeing is believing. Um, really, and when it comes to like the Phuket, they can make all the plans they want. If the health minister and the prime minister decide that they don't like something, then it's off the table. I mean, quarantine requirement for vaccinated tourists and limitation on the type of vaccine used on a tourist if they are not inoculated with Sinovac or AstraZeneca vaccine. So that means Pfizer and Moderna, they don't count. And then they're going to make their employees pay when supposedly just the other day they said we have 63 million doses and we have more than enough for our people and for expats alike. So which one is it? You got Phuket saying, this is the thing. It's I guess it happens everywhere. You got one person saying one thing, you got somebody else saying another, and then it just becomes a mess. And that's where we're at, in my opinion. We're in the middle of a huge mess. Should I wear three? Listen, if two masks is better than one, should I wear 12 masks? Should I wear my gas mask from Hong Kong? I've got two of those. Should I wear one on top of the other? It's such a crock of shit, man. I think what it is, listen, if you ever watch a boxing event from Thailand, in Thailand, 99.9% of the time, they are on at about 3:30 in the afternoon. And what they do is about the first 30 minutes. A couple of minutes, they talk about the boxers, what's going to happen in the show that day. And they might have a fight on that is, like some low-level 4-round or 6-round or something like a 6-rounder. They might have something like that, 8-round fight. And then what they'll do is they'll bring out the governor of the particular province or whatever, the head of some organization. Now, when you see a fight and it's like, let's say it's in Chiang Mai, the city of Chiang Mai or some organization in Chiang Mai basically provides funding to bring the event there. And in return for that, you get to see their city. They show like a little, a couple commercials about the city. And you also, you see the little students sitting around sometimes, watching and they're cheering, Thailand. But also what they do is they bring out whoever the VIPs are there. They walk out and they usually, I'm so-and-so from, Chiang Mai province. I'm the head of the tourism industry here. And I'm so happy to have this event here. I'm so happy. I've got my cohorts here, so-and-so and so-and-so, and they're wonderful. We managed to put it all together. They basically pat themselves on the back. Then they call some other people. And they do this for 20 to 30 minutes. And then they put the fight on. Now, nobody wants to sit through this shit. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you as a journalist and somebody who was involved as having fighters that were fighting. Nobody wants to sit through this bullshit. They do it for themselves. They do it because they hope it will help promote whatever area it might be. You know, if you're in Pattaya, I've been in a show in Pattaya. They put the show on in Pattaya. They promote Pattaya. They promote that little particular area. You know, if they're at a school, then they talk about the school and how they got the students here and blah, blah, blah. We're so happy. And, you know, this is what they do. They promote themselves. And that's what they do on a day-to-day basis. So when they're talking about, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Okay, well, I got my name in the printing. Who gives a shit? They do. That's who cares. They care. Because for them, it makes them feel like they're somebody, I guess. I don't know. I've never given a shit about that stuff, really. You guys know I watch The Sopranos. If you ever watch, there's an event where, it's I think in the first season, where Christopher finds out that the feds are after, you know, his crew, the crew that he's a part of. And he wants to know, did they mention my name? Did they mention my name? Nobody mentions his name. They mentioned some other guy who got murdered. But they didn't mention his name. He's pissed. He wants his name. So finally, somebody puts his name in the newspaper. They called him an associate or something like that. And he went out and he bought a whole stack of newspapers just so he could pass it out and say, look at my name in the newspaper. That's what these people do. It's self-promotion. And I'm not talking about just in time. I mean, this happens all over the world. This is what politicians do. They're constantly promoting themselves. Now you know Malin's take on it. Fucking self-promoting, lying cocksuckers. That's how I view politicians. Now, what country they're from, you can fill in the blanks yourself. But I have a lower opinion of politicians than I do of lawyers. So that ought to tell you something. You know, even ambulance chasers. I got a lower opinion of politicians than I do ambulance chasers. Because ambulance chasers can only generally do so much damage. Oh, fuck you. Nailed it. Some politicians are good people. Really? And how much power do they have, those good people? Tell me the good politicians, Andrew Briggs. Is Nancy Pelosi a good person? You believe she's a good person? You believe Mitch McConnell or Chuck Schumer or Maxine Waters, that fucking racist cunt, you believe she's a good person? I'm sure there are some people who start off with the right intention. And some of them may even get out of politics because they don't like it. They don't like the game. You know, and you know, of course, there's going to be a handful that are you know, they're trying to do their best for the people, and they are faced with tough decisions, and they make good decisions. But the vast majority of them are self-serving, and that's it. But you know, they rot like bad fruit. Exactly. So, but Andrew, we did ask you a question, and I'm not the only one answering or asking. We're all asking. Where's the politicians that are good people? Please tell me. I asked you, is Nancy Pelosi, is she a good person? Do you believe she's a good person? You believe Chuck Schumer is a good person, or do you believe he's a lying piece of shit? Just like her. No, you didn't say he's a good Christian man. You said some politicians are good people. That's all I've seen in the comments. That's all I've seen. All right, that's because that comment that said he was a good Christian was hidden. So, okay, you did say it. All right, great. But you didn't answer my questions. Mike Huckabee, he does fuck all for most people. And in the grand scheme of things, he's not very important. But okay, he's a politician. All right, so I'll give you that one. Now, why don't we talk about the ones that I talked about, like Maxine Waters, Ilhan Omar, AOC, McConnell, Schumer, Pelosi, Biden. My sister-in-law works for the mayor of London. She doesn't have a lot of nice words at the yearly barbecue. What's the guy's name there? Thank you very much there, Kun Bilal, Tomazo, Poserated, whatever the fuck that was in Laverne and Shirley. What's that guy's name? The mayor of what's his name? Mayor of London. I forgot his name, but I never liked him. Sadiq Khan. When the fuck is he going to get the boot? How many bad things has this cocksucker done? Fucking piece of shit. Let's see here. Oh, I have to say something about Starbucks again. I can't stand any of them. Maxine Waters doesn't even live in the area she governs. Sadiq Khan, yeah, never liked him. And, listen, it's irrelevant to me, really, because I don't live there. I'm not British, But it certainly does seem like that, when politicians get power, they don't remember the voters. Now, I'm going to say it again. Andrew Briggs, I'm asking you a question. I've asked you a fucking direct question. And you never seem to answer direct questions because you feel like you don't have to. But I've asked you, do you think these people that I named are good people and they are out for the betterment of the masses, which is what politicians are in power for? They're not in power to serve themselves or their party. So please, feel free to answer. I'd like to know your thoughts, if that's not too much to ask. Most politicians become rich while in office. Most are scumbags. Jury out with Governor DeSantis. Yeah, I mean, listen, at some point, sometimes they lose touch. So far, from what I've seen and from what my parents have told me, they're okay with how things are being run, and they're fine. That doesn't mean in a year from now or a month from now or 10 years from now, things aren't going to change. And I think that's the problem sometimes is that, while you can have term limits, sometimes you get people in power that are great. And then you got these limits. So by the time they can make any more change, maybe they're trying to do something really big. Same with Trump. It happened with Trump. He tries to do a bunch of things and boom. Guess what? He's not in power now. And then everything he did, or not everything, but many things he did gets reversed or stopped or whatever it might be. That happens a lot. That happens in boxing. No, I don't think the people you named are good or for the betterment of people. But if you listed a bunch of corrupt liberal politicians, find some good ones out there. Why? That's my point. Where are they? Start telling me the good ones. Rattle them off. How come I can rattle off all the bad ones, but I can't rattle off many good ones? And it's not about being liberal or being conservative. That's not what it's about. Listen, I'm here to tell you, Republicans are out for their goddamn self. And I think they're doing a shitty job of it. But I think they're out for their own party, not for the people. And here's the thing. I understand that sometimes maybe throwing some cash to certain countries uh, instills a bit of goodwill between countries. It fosters goodwill. It fosters progress in a relationship. I understand that. But when you look at how much money is being given to some of these countries, the thing is that while the taxpayers give the right to the politicians to determine where the money goes and to spend it as they feel fit, since when did the politicians start thinking that throwing money to other countries and making them a priority as opposed to the people, their own citizens who are paying this money? Since when did that become a priority? You know, this is I say these things, um, and I say these online, and while I do say them offline as well. Uh, the bottom line is that in most cases, there's a lot of things that may happen in the next 10, 15, 20 years. They probably won't ever affect me, you know, and I may be dead and gone by the time they do, you know. But my only real point is, are people really happy with the direction they see the world going? And I mean from a macro viewpoint. I don't mean from the, nitpicking here and there. Just look at how things are, how fucked up people are. Like, to me, all politicians are a bunch of fucking liars. They all lie. They're all full of shit. Since when did that become okay? What happened to, oh, we're Christian. I cannot tell a lie. Oh, I forgot. I'll just repent. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm being harsh for a reason, because it has a little bit of impact. Maybe you can see it, you can understand, But all in all, like, my opinion of the average person is far higher than the opinion I have of people who are in power. And it's probably that's how it always has been, and we just are more aware of it now. But when are you going to see something you go, wow, this politician's fantastic. What he's doing all the right things. How often do you say that? Or is it just a case of we don't, it's really good, and so we don't hear about it. And so, we only see the bad things. Anyway, we could go on and on and on debating this. And, at the end of the day, it's all a moot point. We can think what we want. We can do what we want for now. We can think what we want. And I can say what I want online for the most part. Nowadays you got to worry about being canceled. You say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you get canceled. Well, see, here's the thing. We have choices, but the choices are not always good. Our options are not always great. And the choices we make may or may not be good, but at least we try to choose in masses in the United States, and to a much lesser extent here. Um, But, when you run out of choices, then what? What options do you have? Well, I'm just going to live this way. I'm fucked. For the first time since I voted in the early 80s, I don't know who I should give my support in the election this year, this fall. I lost my confidence in all the lying politicians. There you are. And you're in Norway. And generally, I think of like Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark as less corrupt. And they have their shit together a bit more. And here you are saying, you lost your confidence. I got no confidence in any big company, big tech. Fuck you. I got no confidence in them. You think I got confidence in Mark Zuckerberg and the way he runs his company? Fuck no, man. And it's because, I guess, you could say money is the root of all evil. And, maybe it can be. In the case of big tech, it's about the control, not only the money. The money helps facilitate the control. But, when they are able to dictate how people must talk, how they must think, and then they just cancel them this is communism. That is what it is. You're canceling people out. We don't like you, so you're going to disappear. What do you think that is? Yeah, I don't know. I wake up in the morning, I see some news, and I go, what the fuck? I see this thing about Mark Cuban. And, it bothers me that Mark Cuban doesn't want to play the national anthem because it's my country, right? But what bothers me even more is that the fucking NBA is going, we order you to play that. Since when wait a minute, you ordered? Fuck you. You ain't ordered me. What are you going to do? Kick me out of the league? You going to kick him out? Come on. Fucking nose is smushed. What was this? Hang on a second. I just want to say thanks to Patia Bob for recommending the oily ball massage. Prostate massage. It's supposed to be a good thing, Anyway, that's why I do not say wrong stuff. You don't say the wrong stuff. Wait till you slip up and you say the wrong thing. God forbid I ever move back to the United States and, one of my neighbors finds some YouTube video of me where I'm talking shit about Biden or Maxine Waters. Man, that fucking lady, listen, she's the only one who rubs me the wrong way more than Nancy Pelosi. She's the only person. And, this is the other thing. When are we going to wake up? Fucking China owns us, man. You're going to be speaking Chinese. Next generation, got to learn how to speak Chinese. You're going to start being taught the Chinese mandates in school. Watch. It's coming. Slowly but surely, it's happening. All you motherfuckers, with kids, your grandkids might be fucking learning to speak Chinese because the Chinese mandates that, Don't move into a house next to its Karen. Well, what I got to say is, the bottom line is I don't want to move next to anybody. I want enough of a piece of land that, I can put a wall up and go, fuck you. Don't even come near me. Oops. It ain't half bad if the chick knows what they're doing. I don't know what that means. The CCP owns the Democratic Party. Yes. Turge, thank you very much. Choke D. Time for some sleep. One of these days I'm going to do appreciate that very much, Choke D, Turge. One of these days I'm going to do a night stream. maybe even tonight. And it might even involve some tequila. Tonight, tomorrow night, I don't know. Oh, man. Some tequila. I got somebody, my buddy there, Steve, has been from Steve's Kitchen, the channel Steve's Kitchen. I suggest you watch it. I give him a big shout out. He's got a great channel. He, being a British Aussie or Aussie Brit, whatever you want to, whatever he wants to call himself, he came over. He went over to where was he? He was in Turkey for a while. Then he went to the UK. He finally got out of the UK. Now he's in Mexico. Which is pretty much opened up now. And he's, asked me questions about tequila, and I'm thinking to myself, you bastard. You're over there, you got all these different tequilas at your disposal. Now, I'm not going to do a stream of me getting a prostate massage. That's not going to happen. Listen, there are places down on the Soy 33, Sukhumvit Soy 33, and honestly, they have big signs out in the front, oily ball massage. And I was like, only in Thailand. There are some things that make me laugh. Plenty of things left that make me laugh. The one thing is that I feel kind of fortunate, and it's not because, I got such a great life and I got this. No, I feel fortunate because I do have an ability, and not everybody has it. Not especially, a lot of women don't have this from what I've seen, but I have the ability to compartmentalize things. So when I'm done with this stream, all this shit that I've been spewing, I just put it back in the back burner. Thank you very much, Tom. The first shot on me. I put it back there on the back burner in a little box in the back of my head. And, I understand that there are problems. We got some severe problems in the world, but guess what? At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be Steve Jobs. I'm not going to be Bill Gates. I'm probably not going to make, that much of a difference in the world. Somehow I think, Jesus Christ. Somehow I think my little stream here is not going to provide that for people. And I could write a book. It could be a bestseller. And guess what? A lot of people, they don't have any idea of the name of the author of a bestseller. They don't have any idea of the person who shot an award-winning photograph. Most people are too involved in their own lives. And so while I come on here and talk about all these things, and it can come off as negative, I understand that. But I do look at it as, listen, we got some real problems in the world, and I think now they're coming out to the forefront, and we're learning about them more and more quickly. It doesn't mean there's not a lot of good things. And I mean, I've been talking about going down to Krabi, and I'm hoping I'll be able to go down to Krabi. Or at least close to Krabi, around Krabi, something like that. And I'm just waiting for a few things to happen. And I'm like, hey, you know what? That's not a bad thing. I get to go away. I get to do a little something, have a little fun. Life ain't all that bad. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of problems in the world. As long as there are none at home, life is livable. Yeah, I could live in China. Right, Bruce? You've lived there. Bruce has lived in China. He got out of there by the skin of his ball sack, to put it bluntly. You say the wrong thing there now, that's it, buddy. You're gone. See you later. Let me read some of this stuff here. Basically, the whole impeachment thing is the big news right now coming out of America. How they're impeaching this guy, I have no idea. But, they're out to get him. They've been out to get him for a long time. Now, I will say this, all right? I will say this. if there is a Chinese person like in San Francisco, the guys, I don't know if were they Chinese. Let me see here. Where's the thing here? It doesn't matter. The Chinese, Asian, whatever. I mean, it really doesn't matter. They could be any race. Let me see if I can shut this down real quick. Hang on. It says Bay Area residents have begun banding together to patrol the streets of Oakland's Chinatown in response to a wave of unprovoked, God damn it, unprovoked attacks and robberies on residents. The loosely formed citizen patrols began earlier this week after several high-profile cases, including an attack on a 91-year-old who was assaulted out on the street. The attacks have been inflicted primarily on the neighborhood's Asian community. Now, I think most people here know I don't have a fondness. I am negative. We live in a messed up world. Well, you know what's so funny is I was watching a podcast. It was a Sopranos podcast the other day, and the guy Steve Sciarippa, who played Bobby Baccalara, he said, if anybody feels like things are great now in the world and we're so happy, something's wrong with them. Something is wrong with them. Social credit score is coming. Ugh. Yeah, well, you can take my social score. I really don't. My credit score, I don't give a shit. Go ahead. Make an example. I don't know what you're talking about. The big news is Tequila Stream Part 2. Actually, I think it's the third Tequila Stream. And the last one, I think, I was playing music. And they wouldn't let any sound on there. So it was like, you can't hear anything. So what's the point of just watching me, fall asleep after I drank, how many shots of tequila? Read 20-year-old Chinese woman was given 14 years in prison for making a comment about Xi online. You're talking about the Australian citizen? Australian Chinese woman? This is exactly what I mean. Since where the fuck did they get the right to just throw somebody's life away because she said something you don't like? Listen, if I did that to everybody who said something I didn't like, fuck, I'd be throwing 100 people a day out. I'd be throwing them in a can. Well, yeah, you know what? I am scared for my kids. And I've told my kids, I've told my kids, no matter what, you need to stick together. Your blood, through thick and thin. If one of you is down on your luck, the other one needs to help. You need to, remember that because you're all you got. Believe that. You may be the only person, he may be the only person that you have at some point. Trump, people got a perfect role model now. They made a perfect example out of him. Yeah, that they did. Absolutely disgusting. Carlos, exactly right. Yeah, I am worried for my kids, and I'm even more worried for their kids. Like if I live long enough to have grandkids and see my grandkids, which hopefully I will. Uh, I'm worried for them. Now, do I think it's right to go walk by and hit some 91-year-old person just because they're Asian? No, I don't. I don't believe in that shit. I don't care what they're doing in the country. That's not going to solve anything. I just don't buy into that. As much as I talk and like, hey, I'd like to crack this guy or whatever, there's only certain times when it's really appropriate. And there are very, very few times when it is. And certainly not some 91-year-old guy walking down the street. I mean, what the hell's the deal with that? Who does that? What kind of piece of shit does that? All right, well, they did catch the person. Yahya Muslim. That's their name. Suspect in the attack on a 91-year-old as well as two other victims, 55 and 60, on the same day. Please don't go in and hurt somebody just because of where they come from. That's stupid. And I'll tell you why it's stupid. It's stupid because you go and push that person. Guess what? One day, it could be you. Let's say I go and push somebody here. Oh, you're Chinese. And I go shove him, knock him down, throw him a beating. Well, one day I could be the guy. Hey, look at that white guy over there. Let's throw him a beating. Because he's white. So I don't believe in any of that stuff. I don't think that's right. If you don't like it, then don't be there. Even if it's your country. Like if some Thai walked up and just socked me, of course I'd be pissed. I'd want him thrown in jail. Not to mention, if I was able to, I would fight back and I would try to kill the motherfucker. I'm not opposed to dropping somebody on top of their head, believe me. And, if they're not very big, it's pretty easy to do that. But, that's not the answer. Violence is never the answer. Well, I won't say never, but violence is rarely the answer. And it's certainly not something good. I find that disgusting when you see some old guy. It's like the whole knockout thing. Ooh, now here's something. Here's something I'm interested in. This has nothing to do with politics. It does have to do with a snake, though. Burmese python weighs in at 300 pounds and is more than 16 feet long. And this was in Florida, near Tampa. The massive snake, which is the biggest ever reported to be found in Zolfo Springs, was first spotted on the. First spotted on this. God damn it! I hate this Fox News where they automatically put up their freaking video. The massive snake, which is the biggest ever reported, was first spotted on the side of the road by Aaron Brown, who then called his cousin William Wilkerson for help. Once we got him pulled out, it was like, my God, what a snake! The pair hooked and shot the snake before learning it weighed hundreds of pounds and was 16 feet 4 inches. We measured him and laid him down and the two kids beside him to get a rough idea and end up finding a tape measure. The reptile was then handed over to Dustin Crum, a snake hunter. After he took the snake to be skinned, 100 eggs were reportedly found inside. We were down in the Everglades trying to stop these pythons from migrating further north in all directions. Hopefully this is a rogue snake and they haven't migrated this far north. The boys stopped an invasion by eliminating a big breeding snake like that. Holy shit, man. Referring to the attack in San Francisco, and they should be hung by their balls. Yes. I don't love snakes, but I respect them for sure. And I think some of them are fascinating. But I'm not one of these guys who sees a snake and feels like I've got to go over and play with him, fuck with him. No. A 16-foot python, that fucking thing will eat your ass. I don't know if it'll eat me, but it could kill me for sure. And it probably would eat me. Probably go, hey, there's a good meal. But the problem in Florida, and I know this because my parents live right on the edge of the Everglades, is that, they're not a species that belongs in the Everglades. They don't belong there. Some idiot brought a Burmese python into the country. And now they're overrun. And the things eat gators. They really have no natural predators. They're not prey for any animal unless they're small. and then maybe a gator will eat them. But once they get a little bit larger, forget about it. So they can totally destroy the ecosystem, and they are destroying the ecosystem there. I hear about this stuff all the time, with these snakes in the Everglades. Let me read this comment here. We moved to Florida 20 years ago. Shortly thereafter, we took an airboat ride through the Everglades. It was the most memorable experience. I have done that several times. We saw all kinds of wildlife, birds, gators, etc. Recently, we had a family visit and thought to take them for an airboat ride. They had no reference point, so they enjoyed the boat ride. And of course, seeing the gators. But for us, we immediately saw a drastic difference. We didn't see one animal of any kind. It seemed even the upper branches of the trees were barren of resting birds. It is clear to see the pythons have overrun and killed all the natural wildlife in the Everglades. It will take years, perhaps decades, for the area to return to its previous state. Yeah, and I mean, listen, I went, and while it wasn't quite, I went about how many years ago? 4 years, 5 years ago. And I will say, it was an experience. I went when I was younger, and obviously I haven't lived there in a long time. But when I was younger, I did, and we took an airboat and went out, and I believe there's some footage up online of it. We saw some gators, and you got to be careful. But we did see a few birds and other animals. But the bottom line is those Burmese pythons, they're a huge problem, and I don't think you're ever going to get rid of them. When you got an animal that's carrying 100 eggs in it, I don't know what the percentage of them that actually lives to maturity is, but it's got to be a high percentage, and it's enough to cause a massive problem with the ecosystem. So, anyway, what else we got here? We got about what? How many minutes? 15 minutes left. It's good to get off the political subjects. Got anything else here? Drunk Tom Brady. Good for him. Is he allowed to get drunk now? Or is he going to get canceled? Let me see something here. Well, this is the other thing. When you look on here, it's always the same. Kim Kardashian, her fat ass made news again. She tried on a tiny bikini. Yeah, wild hogs. You don't want to mess around with boar. You don't want to mess around with some big ass boar, man. You know? They'll slice you up. All right, let me see if I can get this up here. I need the photos. What the fuck? There we go. There we go. I guess Bruce Springsteen is in the news again. I guess he did a commercial or something on the Super Bowl at halftime or something. I don't know. And I think personally he's full of shit. He's another one. Sorry. Oh, now he's arrested. What is this? Here, let me just show you something. Even this glue girl, Gorilla Glue Girl, seeing surgeon. Why do they call it Gorilla Glue and some chick is using it in her hair? I guess she's a rocket scientist? I mean, seriously, who the fuck does that, man? Been seriously thinking about coming out of retirement. I feel like I could be helping instead of just sitting and talking about it. Yeah, well, you might want to think twice about that. I would do what the Turks do. You think once about it while you're sober, and then you get drunk off your ass and think about it. And then when you wake up, you make a determination. Boar's head meats are the bomb, though. Yes, they are. I used to eat meat from the boar's head in Southern California all the time. Drunk Springsteen, pinched on November 14th over at Sandy Hook. Huh? What is this? Oh, what? They're not going to put up this? Oh, here we go. Oh. Well, didn't somebody take him off of his Super Bowl ad or something? What is it? Where was it? I just saw this. I don't know where the hell it is. Oh, Jeep. I think Jeep canceled him or something. God damn it. It's fucking... He was arrested for DWI while at a park in his home state. The incident took place in November. A public affairs officer confirmed it to Fox News on Wednesday. 3 citations, DWI, reckless driving and consuming alcohol in a closed area. He was cooperative. Of course he was, because he knew he was going to pay his way out of it. Anyway, listen, I never liked him. Nothing against the USA or being born in the USA or whatever, but I never liked him. I never liked his music. It just never excited me, you know. And I was watching what's that guy's name? The Crowder guy, going off on what a douchebag Bruce Springsteen is. How he's completely full of shit and how he's, you know, listen, I understand you got to build an image for yourself. All right? You build an image and then, you know, you hope that sells. But if you build your image as a douchebag, then you're a douchebag. You know? If you build your image as being somebody who is opinionated but who generally is very stable and caring and understanding, then I guess that's what people view you as. But to me, I view him as a douchebag, as a guy who puffs his chest out and who, you know, he believes his own bullshit. Now, could I be wrong? Of course, but I don't think so. Let me see something else here. What is this? Let's talk about Gorilla Girl. Gorilla Glue Girl. Woman who sprayed Gorilla Glue on hair to meet with surgeon for free removal procedure. Tessica Brown has already raised more than $17,000 to cover medical expenses, too. Spray adhesive. All right. God damn it. This fucking thing is going to start again. I need to set it to not start videos automatically. Give me a second. God damn it. And you click on the button and it doesn't go off. Fucking piece of shit. Deer jerky. Oh, that sounds good. Let me see something here. All right. Let's talk about Gorilla Girl. The Louisiana woman who was forced to seek medical treatment after using Gorilla Glue to style her hair. Who the fuck uses glue to style your hair? Fucking moron. Says she's heading off to see a surgeon for help removing the product. I will be leaving tomorrow to go see a surgeon. I'll update you guys the second I have news again. Like I give a fuck about your hair other than so that I can call you a jackass. Brown had previously admitted herself to an emergency room in Louisiana where she was reportedly instructed to sterilized water. What the fuck are they writing here? Was reportedly instructed to sterilized water and nail polish remover to try and soften the glue. Now she's said to be flying to Los Angeles to meet with Dr. Michael Obeng, a plastic surgeon who has offered his services for free. Now, why the fuck would you do that? Because she's stupid? Brown had originally shared her story last week in a TikTok video. There's your fucking first problem. You're on TikTok, bitch. Viewed more than 21 million times on Wednesday morning. In it, she admitted to using Gorilla Glue spray adhesive on her head after running out of her preferred brand of hairspray. So you're going to use glue instead of hairspray. I'm going to say that this chick, I'm going to say that this chick is a fucking moron. She is what is known as a grade A chowderhead. I mean, who the fuck does that? Well, this chick. Brown, who referred to herself as Gorilla Glue Girl on YouTube, alleged that she hadn't been able to remove the glue since spraying it onto her do about a month before seeking help at the hospital over the weekend. In the days since, Brown claims she has tried conditioners, tea tree oil, and coconut oil, as well as nail polish remover and rubbing alcohol to remove the glue with no luck. She and a friend did have some success with a super glue remover, however, and managed to cut off Brown's ponytail, according footage shared. You see, who's editing this shit? According footage shared with TMZ. According to footage shared with TMZ. Fucking A, man. When you get a media outlet that's at least, the very least national, but it's international, and they can't even, that's the second fuck up I've seen in this article. Now the plastic surgeon will try to remove the rest of the glue from her hair and scalp in a procedure that can take up to 3 days and cost over $12,000. Brown, meanwhile, has already raised more than $17,000 in an online fundraiser she had to cover medical expenses. It is unclear if she will use that money to cover travel expenses also. Well, of course, because what's she supposed to do with it? Brown did not. She ought to use it to buy a fucking brain out of a Cracker Jack box. Brown did not respond to requests for additional information. Of course not, because she'd want to get paid for it. A representative for Brown was not immediately available to confirm exactly where the Los Angeles procedure will be taking place. Now, can't this chick just fucking shave her head? What about if I put Gorilla Glue in my hair? Nobody's going to give a fuck. You know why? Because I'm not a chick. Poor little girl. She put Gorilla Glue in her hair instead of hairspray. Can you imagine that poor girl? And now she's fucking a multimillionaire. First of all, can't she shave her fucking head? Or is the glue stuck to her scalp too? You know, my guess is that she could shave at least some of her scalp, and then there's glue going to be on her scalp. So she's fucked. So now she's got this stuff on it. How come she didn't, did she? I don't see anything about this. Why didn't she contact Gorilla Glue or Gorilla Spray Adhesive? Why didn't she call Gorilla Spray Adhesive and say, hey, I need to know how to get this shit out of my hair. Is there anything that I can use that will help? Fuck you, Fox. Is there anything I can do? Or am I just fucked? She shellacked her head. Oh my God. Well, Yeah, again, she gets the, what did Bruce call it? This is the Darwin Award. It's not honorable mention. She gets fucking at least second prize. She might even get first. How fucking stupid are you? I need some hairspray. Let me grab that spray glue over there. That'll work just fine. Now I want to sue the company because they didn't tell me I shouldn't use it in my hair. Does it say it's fucking hairspray, you fucking idiot? No, it doesn't. Apparently they tried acetone and that didn't work either. Why don't you just light her head on fire? Did she sniff the glue before she put it on? I don't mean to be too mean, but it's just so, I mean, I can't see myself doing something that stupid. That's like, I don't want to come too fast, so I'm going to super glue the tip of my dick shut. That'll do it. And then you're going to sue the glue company. Think about it. That's about what it is. I'm going to super glue my vagina shut because I don't want some guy sticking his dick in there. I mean, well, you have to, what did Trump, you have to put the chlorine into it. You just put it right, you put the bleach inside the vein and it'll get rid of the COVID virus. You dumb motherfuckers. Are you that stupid? If you are, you don't deserve to live. You don't. Jesus Christ. Where do we get these fucking people? Survival of the fittest. Jesus fucking Christ. We still let too many dummies fucking continue to live. And I don't think I'm a fucking rocket scientist either. I just think I'm, a moderate intelligence. Yeah, I know she wants to sue because they didn't specifically say she can't use it in her hair. And she has 4 kids, probably from 4 different men. I'm just guessing. She could have it from one guy. I don't know. She could have been married for 20 years. I don't know. I don't know how old she is. Let me see here. I got to look up another article about this fucking chick. Stiff wear my hair. Oh my God. I'm going to do a search of her name. Fucking biggest idiot of the year. She wishes she never posted the Gorilla Glue video. Yeah, but she did. Why did Tessica use Gorilla Glue? She ran out of hairspray. She then goes on to explain that she ran of her usual go-to-be hairspray, so she opted for something else, Gorilla Glue adhesive spray. Honey, fuck, I wonder, she's got a fundraiser on GoFundMe. Okay? Seriously, I'm looking at it right now. Tessica Brown and Juanita Brown are organizing this fundraiser. She's got almost 20 fucking grand. You know what? I'm lucky if I can raise $500 for anything. I could have cancer of the nutsack, and I'd probably get $500. This fucking chick, she's a complete fucking moron. And you know what? That's okay. I understand. Really, it's okay. I'm not bitching about that. But you got this fucking moron. She's got 20 fucking G's? Honey, how are you that stupid? I want to ask her. I mean, really, I'd like to ask her. Honey, how is it that you confuse glue with fucking hairspray? How the fuck do you do that? Is there any comments on here? Of course not. Let's see here. All these are anonymous. Nobody wants to be associated with fucking... Look at this. 20, 50. All these are anonymous. I think we should fucking... All these people who are donating to her, they need to be canceled. They get the Stupidity of the Year award as well. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know, how is it? Tessica, in the New York Post, Tessica Brown shares how her Gorilla Glue saga went viral. I don't give a fuck. How did you come to the conclusion it's okay to put fucking glue in your hair, you dumb bitch? Yes, I know about fucking Aunt Jemima changing her name. To me, it's like, what's the world coming to? What about if there really was an Aunt Jemima? And she was a kindly old black woman who was a little overweight, a little chunky, kind of like a chubby Nick Nolte. She kind of looked like a Hattie McDaniels. If you don't know who that is, look it up. What the fuck is so wrong with that? Are you that offended? It happened fucking years ago when they opened up the fucking business. They made the name years and years ago. Now you got to call them Pearl Milling Company. Listen, honey, I can't buy Pearl Milling Company fucking pancakes or fucking syrup. Gorilla Glue Ultra Hold. Gorilla Glue Girl is a name that's stuck permanently, much like Bum Gun Chuck. Well, I don't know if that name is actually stuck there, Bruce. I don't know if you were around yesterday or if you saw it, but we are now affectionately referring to Bum Gun Chuck as Chubby Nick Nolte because he kind of does look with his disheveled hair where he's laying on the bed with his head cocked, and he kind of looks like an old Nick Nolte, just a little chubbier. You know, he's got the jowls and the chubbier face. I wish I had a brother that was a twin of mine, kind of like the Hodge twins, because he'd be laughing right now and I'd be laughing. We'd both be going, "What the fuck, man? How can you say anything but if you know the word fuck or you know the phrase what the fuck? How can you not look at this woman and just go, what the fuck, honey? What the fuck?" He got so pumped up when I called him. Yeah, he did. He did. He's so happy to be a part of it and be called the chubby Nick Nolte. He's a funny guy. He told me after the stream, "Don't you think that talking about ladyboys is entertaining?" I said, "No, not at all. I don't find it entertaining in the least. It's not humorous in the least." The fact that, to me, the fact that a guy wants to chop off his pecker, I don't know that I find that humorous. you know, but like I always say, to each his own, whatever. Do whatever you want. You want to chop it off? Go for it. You want to keep it? Keep it. You want to put fucking glue in your hair? Like the Gorilla Glue Girl? Keep it. But you know what? I'll be like, listen, if I were that Gorilla Glue company, I would liquidate every bit of cash. I would fucking run on to fumes. And if they say, okay, we find against the company for $50 million, you just go, okay, good luck getting it, motherfuckers. I got $20 in the bank. That $50 is in my own personal account and you ain't getting shit. Yeah, he's way too into it. And he's like, I do it because I think it's funny to see you react to it. I'm like, it was funny one time. After that, it's not funny anymore. Even though I live here and there are, they're around, I don't pay him any fucking attention. I couldn't give two shits about him. You know, they want to bend over and take it, that's their prerogative. They want to give it, that's their prerogative. Whatever they want to do, it's their. I don't give a fuck because I'm more worried about me. Call me selfish. I'm concerned about myself and my family more than I am about what's going on between some guys' legs or girls or whatever you want to fucking call them. See the position we get into? I'm not concerned about what goes on between some guy. Oh, wait a minute. Am I allowed to say guy? Am I allowed to say woman? Are they not? They're not allowed to say he or she in Congress now, apparently. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something ridiculous. So fucking ridiculous. I'd like to go. I was thinking of it the other day. I'd like to go back in time to about the 1870. However, we would retain the medical technology that we have now, uh, and we would also retain the travel abilities that we have now. In other words, we'd be able to have cars, but everything else would be the same. Give me a little motorcycle or something. Maybe we can just have motorcycles. You know, and medical technology. That way, if you had to have surgery to get a hemorrhoid removed, it wasn't a life and death situation. You accidentally cut your finger, it wasn't going to get infected, and you were going to lose your hand. Give me a little technology. Go back in the old days. Women got married and they knew. We ain't divorcing. Chance of us divorcing is pretty goddamn slim. That ain't gonna happen. And the man knew, hey, I better provide and do well. Anyway, I'm oversimplifying and just throwing shit out there, but sometimes I think the old ways were the better ways. I like the technology, although I could do without the social media. And I'm not calling Line or Telegram social media because, to message your buddy, that's one thing. But, to be sitting there all the time, anybody watching that stream the other day when I went and had some food at the food court, it was probably 4 or 5 days ago, maybe a week. I went to the food court and I sit down, I'm eating my little meal. And I look, and these 4 chicks, and all of them were ugly. It wasn't like they were good looking and they were smiling and, hey, hello. No, they all sit right next to me, and I'm like, what the fuck? You don't know about social media? I mean, social distancing? Social media, you see? It's what's on my mind. You don't know about social distancing? Aren't we socially distancing now? What the fuck, honey? I wanted to say that. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to cry about it. I don't give a fuck. Just don't breathe on me. Or I might put my face in. Get the face away from me. So we're all sitting there. I kind of feel like I'm one with them. There's like 4 chicks and like one little guy there, one little, feminine guy. And they're all sitting there, every goddamn one of them. That's what they're doing. Every goddamn one of them. They weren't even talking to each other. This is the world we live in. I'm so happy my kids are not addicted to social media. My wife is not addicted to social media, but she's constantly wondering if she got a message, if there's a business email coming in, and I'm going to have to get it at this time. It's supposed to come, and I got to write this. Oh, fuck. Put the fucking thing down. Yeah, they didn't want to talk, so they just texted back and forth. Now, I will admit that there have been times when I was half asleep, in bed, and I'm like, I need my kid to bring me like a coffee or something, and I know he's downstairs watching a movie, and I send him a text message. Bring me up a coffee, will you? That's how we lost the other choice. Good night, everybody. Good night, Mr. Carlos. It's about time for me to go as well. I'm already 10 minutes past. I'm going to give it we got about 3 minutes left. Divide and conquer. Yeah. Let's read The Art of War. And we'll know exactly what the fucking Chinese are going to try on us, or are already trying on us, and are already successfully doing with us. I feel like I'm like a little pawn in their game. I'm like in the anthill, I'm in the colony, and they're like herding the colony of ants over to the right when we want to go to the left. Good morning, Mr. Dowlow. Bruce, I'm taking it you are not working today, Mr. Bruce. Whatever. You know, what are you going to do? All you can do is take a deep breath, go have a nice meal, take a shower, take a big shit, whatever. Throw the old lady down on the bed or whatever. Have your way with her. Go for a bike ride. Go for a run. Go for a swim. Crank out 50 push-ups. Do something. There are other things, but besides, worrying about what's going on in the world and what the Chinese are doing and what Kim Kardashian, she shook her ass to the left today. It dropped 3 centimeters. Oh my God. The other day I see, what's the sister's name? Courtney, the little one. I don't know how little she is now. Popped out like 4 or 5 kids. Look at her in this. Look at her. What was it? She sizzles in her new bathing suit. Now they probably paid for an ad. They fucking airbrush her. The little cellulite that you see in her legs now because she's popped out 4 kids. They airbrushed her so she looks like she's tan. Covered up a little bush hair. And she got paid by the bikini manufacturer. And yet people will look at that shit. I mean, sometimes I look. I admit it. When it comes to a bikini, I'm like, how does Liz Hurley look? How does Elizabeth Hurley? If she is exactly, I have no idea. Northwest? Who the fuck is Northwest? I mean, the airlines? Did they really do that painting? I don't know. Northwest Air. I admit I look at some of these little celebrity things. Like Elizabeth Hurley. I think to myself, that's not going to happen there, Patsy or Bob. I hate to tell you. Why would I give her a rant? As long as I didn't have some fucking old Chinese lady with huge knuckles, rotating her finger in a aggressive manner. I don't know that I don't know that I would have a rant. It might be like, ooh, that was good. I don't know. Oh, North is her son. North, okay. Kanye West, Northwest. That's right. All right. I don't even know about a painting. It's funny. Why don't you go and put your ass up in the air and have them fucking massage your prostate? Okay? And don't give me that if you do it, I'll do it either bullshit, because I ain't going to do it. At least if I did it, nobody's going to know about it until after the fact. Maybe I would say something later on. But, there's some things that are a little private, Anyway, what can I say? Well, I'm sure they can find a way. They'll lay you on your side or something. They'll lay you on your side and they'll say, here you go, big boy. Enjoy it. Anyway, listen. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes, which means it's 11:30 here in the morning. I only wanted to do 2 hours, no more than 2 hours. And of course, again, I do 2 hours and 15 minutes. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me and putting up with the prostate massage and colonoscopy talk and the talk about the katoys and about the fucking gorilla glue hair. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know, man. How do you mistake glue for hairspray? She ain't very bright. That's, not the brightest fucking bulb in the lot. Speaking of bulb, I got to get a new what do you call it? Adapter. I bought one of those, what do they call them things? Extension thingies. Extension cords. I bought one of those special extension cords. Or actually, Nicholas did. It's got the little USB things. But of course, they give you the one with the 3 holes. Well, most of the outlets have only 2 holes. So how you going to do it? You got to get a little what do you call it? Adapter. So that's what I got to do today. In addition to everything else I normally do. So busy day. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Busy day. Dowlow, 3:30 in the afternoon. She figured hair spray holds her hair in place, so glue must hold her hair in place better. Now, I'm not even going to go there. What if she used it down yonder, down south? What the hell would happen to her then, man? I mean, really, when you think about it, it's just like some guy going, I come too fast. I'm gonna put some glue down there so that it shuts me off, and then that way I won't come so fast. And then you go and sue the glue company. I don't get it, man. I know it's still glue, though. It's spray glue, but it's fucking glue. Now she has helmet hair. I don't give. You know what? I just want to see the aftermath. I want to see. Listen, if this chick gets rich, I'm gonna fucking write her and I'm gonna go. Listen, how does a stupid bitch like you get fucking rich? Why is that okay in the world? Something's wrong. Give all your money to a teacher. Because we need better teachers if you're that stupid and you think that you need fucking glue in your hair. Really, give it to the Teachers Association of America or something. Give that money, any money you make, give it away. Because she doesn't deserve it. You don't get fucking brownie points for being a fucking dumbass. At least in my book. You don't get brownie points for being a chowderhead. Yeah, now she makes me think poorly of the Gorilla Glue. Actually, I think it's a great name. And, I think they shouldn't suffer one fucking bit. I mean, they're probably making a bundle of money because of this. Because everybody's... how many people are going, oh my God. She used Gorilla Glue and it got stuck in her hair? What's wrong with the glue manufacturer? I'm just ranting. I'm looking around. It's right on my phone in front of me. What the hell is this? You have used the internet for 10 baht. If you use 49 baht, you can enjoy unlimited internet until midnight. Anyway. All right, guys. Time to go. People to go see. People to... Things to do. Places to go. All that good stuff. If you'd be so kind, please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Yeah, if you're upset with Gorilla Girl for being so stupid and how she's going to get rich, please leave a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. If you're subscribed, well, you don't need to subscribe. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I'm not one of these guys who says you got to click the notification bell. You don't have to. I'm going to be streaming now and then, so, it's not that difficult to keep up. But if you want to, you can click it. And then everything else is down below in the description. And I mean everything. I got plenty down there. In fact, I probably need to chop it down a little bit more. You got, everything from the merch. Orwell, I will eventually get around to changing the code. And maybe I'll change it to like dumb fuck gorilla or something. I don't know. Gorilla girl. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'll change it soon. And anyway, there's all kinds of ways that you can help support the channel. I appreciate that. And I guess that's all I got. I don't know if I'm going to go down to Chinatown tomorrow because let me tell you something. Like I said, I went into the grocery store yesterday. Fucking A, I wanted to get a couple of things. You know, some spaghetti sauce, some tomato paste kind of stuff, some canned tomatoes and some cheese and, you know, a bunch of other stuff. And I go in there and the place is full of all these people in these little red satin outfits. And their people are going nuts buying all the fucking Chinese shit. The place was jam-packed full of people. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing there? For the t-shirt code, yes. Waiting. What's the t-shirt code, Bob? I'm waiting. We're all patiently waiting. I got places to go, man. What's the t-shirt code? Spray? Gorilla? Oily ball massage? All right, anyway. I don't know. The comment will come up soon enough. Best part was about Super Glue Girl. Max, oh, fuck you. I don't want to think about that bitch, Maxine. I don't want to think about Maxine Waters one bit. She rubs me the wrong way, and I don't mean in a good way. I don't mean, like a good rub. I mean the wrong way. So, that's all I have. Thank you very much for joining me on this Thursday morning happy/Bitchfest. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to contribute in whatever way you can just by coming into the next chat, wherever I may be. I don't know if I'm going to go down to Chinatown or not. Like I was saying, things are very packed, and I don't know how I feel about going down there. I didn't particularly want to go in the first place, but I thought maybe it's a good idea. Now I don't know. We'll figure it out, though. Anyway, thank you very much, and until next time, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. I don't need to know about all this caca. Yeah. So let me just see here. I'm getting it down here. Things are coming together. And I'm going to say, until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke D, la jerk and my. That's good luck. And until next time.